Howdy friendos, my name is Stuart, and welcome to our vampire multi-parter and a sequel to our original look at Dracula from Netflix's Castlevania. If you haven't checked out the series, be sure to do so. It was a really good episode and crossover that I'm still proud of. We had our buddy Demonac on, and he absolutely killed it. And be sure to slash and like the subscribe button with your sword familiar, transform to your wolf form, and ring that bell to track more of our videos, and speed on over to the comment section with your dhampir abilities. Let us know what other characters you'd like us to cover. In honor of Netflix's releasing the next part of their Castlevania series, and maybe to bring up newcomers up to speed on a certain someone, Symphony of the Night, it's time we look at Dracula's son. And while Dracula has sired many children throughout media, I would say one of the most famous ones came from Konami's beloved franchise. Adrian Fahrenheit, yes, that's really his middle name, Tepes, or as he's known better as Alucard. Raised by his mother Lisa and his father Dracula, we can gather that Alucard had a pretty happy and normal life. His father and mother taught him magic and science as he grew up peacefully for 19 years. However, things took a turn for the worse when Lisa is accused as a witch and burned at the stake for her association with Dracula. And if you watched our Dracula video, you all know how well that turned out. At the beginning of the series, Alucard is a noble half-vampire, raised as a child of both worlds. He's patient, but still battles his vampiric urges and his human tendencies. He also hasn't dealt with people before, at least outside of Dracula's innermost circle. Because Alucard seems to have led a pretty normal life, I think it's safe to pin him at the start of the series as true neutral, leaning neutral good. But be sure to stick around for the post-analysis where we'll have fun dissecting Alucard and what we can assume will happen moving forward. But with that out of the way, let's go. However, before we go, did you know that you can watch the next 3 alignment videos ahead of schedule by becoming a channel member, a patron, or a Twitch subscriber? Whichever one is most convenient for you, you can just go ahead and do that. Becoming any of these premium members gives you access to the next 3 alignment videos on your select platform and gives you a spot at the end credits of our alignment videos and gaming videos. Each membership also gives you access to another unique set of benefits. YouTube Premium gives you access to stickers and emojis not available anywhere else, and sometimes a 4th bonus alignment video. Patreon gives you access to monthly wallpapers, lore packets, and access to the uncut archive of our D&D campaigns. And Twitch gives you access to a different set of emote stickers and access to our entire streaming library. If you're especially ambitious and want to collect all 3 Infinity Stones of the Loading Crew, this gives you access to a special title in our Discord. It's mostly bragging rights, but hey, you're better than everyone else. Check any of the links in the description to gain access and help support the channel.
To summon an army from the guts of hell itself. No.
Learning of his mother's death, Alucard pleads with his father to not kill everyone. Bear in mind, he's not against the death of the ones who hurt Elisa, but he's unable to stop his father. Chaotic good. Beaten badly, Alucard recovers in Grezit. Legends spread and eventually bring Sypha and Trevor Belmont to him. Curious about the 2 humans, he tests their abilities and character. I'm actually going to give this a true neutral, believe it or not.
A vampire hunter and a magician. You'll do.
With potential allies before him, Alucard stops and reveals who he is. Despite going against his mother's wishes, Alucard is resolved to stop his father's evil, no matter what the cost.
Oh, please.
Lawful good.
We're not children.
So, how do we proceed?
Have the speakers left? Yeah.
Forming a plan, the group head to the Belmont's home to gear up and learn. He doesn't like Trevor's attitude and is willing to defend the man his father was, but he's also down to take down monsters that attack them. Neutral good.
Wasn't the worst way to grow up.
How old were you when your family home was taken?
Arriving at the Belmont estate, Alucard and the gang begin working together to find Castlevania and kill Dracula. He grows closer to Trevor and Sypha as they research and arm themselves. Overall, just nice stuff. Neutral good. With their plan set, Alucard helps Sypha lock Castlevania right outside the Belmont stronghold. Getting Trevor's help, the castle is moved. We see our Dracula episode again if you haven't already, and the group goes to stop the Lord of all Vampires. Lawful good. Fuck yeah. I know the Dracula fight is coming up, but god, this opening fight for this episode is so badass and great. Nat 20 fight. Fuck yes. God, this scene is good too. Alucard fights his father and confronts him for his death by war conquest. While Alucard tries to end the fight quickly, he works in tandem with Trevor and Sypha. It ends in a beautiful Nat 20 finale as Dracula is staked by his own son. Lawful good. With the world safe and Dracula gone, Alucard makes plans to lock himself up. He's instead gifted the Belmont home and is allowed to live his life. Alucard gets to live, seeing Sypha and Trevor travel along to the next stage of their journey. True neutral. Damn, dude. Alucard copes with his new life, living off the land and keeping to himself for a month. However, with no one to talk to and his guilt weighing on him, Alucard has also let some madness trickle into his life. Let's give this a chaotic neutral. Fetching water, Alucard comes across two hunters, Sumi and Taka. After learning their plight and how they both want to learn how to hunt vampires, Alucard agrees and gives them shelter. Neutral good.
Don't look at those.
Hosting Taka and Sumi, Alucard learns more about them. He begins training them with tricks and tactics. He opens up, showing them everything, and one day hopes to make Trevor impressed by the monster hunters. However, Alucard is taking things slow, teaching them bits and pieces. Lawful good, twice over the series. Is it weird that nearly every threesome scene on this channel is either getting a nat 1 or a nat 20? I don't think there's ever going to be any in between. Editor, make that ding happen, please. So the twins arrive in Alucard's room late at night and seduce him under false pretenses. Alucard believes for just a moment that he finally has a family, but then he gets betrayed, begging and pleading with the twins. Sorry. They remain unconvinced that he didn't give them everything he was capable of. In a literal life or death situation, Alucard kills them in what seems like the last of his humanity. True neutral.
I suppose I could have put up big signs all over the place. Do not enter, danger of death, abandon all hope.
Just like dead old dad. You could argue about what alignment for staking Taka and Sumi is, but the fact that Alucard keeps them up for like 6 more weeks, it's not a great sign, even though this could arguably be self-defense, but we're gonna give this 2 chaotic evils just to kind of cover our bases.
I should drink more water.
Receiving a word from a nearby village asking for help, Alucard buries the messenger and rides out. He saves the town from monsters and agrees to defend its citizens. Neutral good.
I hear nothing.
Me neither.
Something's coming.
When a nearby town comes for aid, a traveling stranger, Saint Germain, suggests moving everyone to Castlevania. Realizing the advantages, Alucard agrees. He takes everyone back, protecting the villagers from the monsters. Lawful good. The town begins making their home in the castle. Alucard even allows himself to have fun with the kids. He gives everything in the castle to them, including access to the weapons and food. Aw, that's nice. I'm sure nothing bad will happen to ruin this piece. Neutral good.
Since children loved here.
When the castle is attacked by monsters, shock, Alucard is defending its citizens. Good guy. Noticing something strange in the air, Alucard learns that Saint Germain is attempting to resurrect Dracula and Lisa Tepes in a dark ritual. With monsters on both sides, Alucard rushes downstairs to help the town. Lawful good. At the turn of the tide, Alucard is joined again by his battle buddies Trevor and Sypha. Catching them up to speed, the 3 battle their way through the hordes of monsters. Once done, they battle to the true mastermind of this fight, death. With Trevor's sacrifice, the people are saved. Lawful good.
It was my plan.
You just think it was your plan.
It was my plan.
With the day saved, Alucard offers Sypha and a barely alive Trevor a home and a place for the Belmonts to continue. Accepted by the orphans, Alucard begins the next chapter of his life, learning the joys of humanity after being tested for so long. Neutral good.
I'm happy it's over.
Alucard goes through the fucking ringer in this series, even though he doesn't get a ton of screen time to show it. While characters like Hector and Isaac or Trevor and Sypha go through their own hardships, Alucard easily loses the most and is tested the most visibly. Minus Dracula, but that's a given. At the start of the series, Alucard lost his mother and tries to carry her message of peace for humanity. He's just pissed at his dad, but he's willing to at least stop after the people who hurt Lisa are exclusively dealt with. When Dracula pushes him away, Alucard is forced to find allies who are willing to stop the strongest vampire that ever was. And you can clearly tell how uncomfortable Alucard is speaking with Trevor. They bicker, but this is a man who was raised to hunt and kill people like his father. Even by this point, the Belmonts are famous monster slayers, and Alucard is asking them for aid. It's so messed up when you actually think about it. The only way to save humanity is to kill your father and ally yourself with people who are trained specifically to kill people like your father. What's worse is that while Trevor and Sypha are valuable allies during battle, neither one of them gets the final blow. It's Alucard. And you can see how much this weighs on him for the final shot of Season 2 and through on to Season 3. There's no one in the world that will understand what he's lost like his father, and he was the one that had to end him. He tries desperately to figure out how to live his life, but he can barely cope with the guilt of what's happened, especially when he doesn't want to travel with Sypha and Trevor. He hopes he can find a new salvation and a new purpose with Sumi and Taka, but that gets complicated. This dude can barely catch a break, but you can tell despite several times when Alucard dips into his vampiric nature, he wants to believe in good. He knows his mother is correct and sees it in his friends and even in the children he eventually raises. While this won't be the end of Alucard's adventure, and if Netflix follows the game storylines, I am fascinated to see what other twists and turns we'll get with Alucard. But what did you guys think? Are there any other Castlevania characters you'd like us to cover, or to cover the other compelling characters Netflix has? I heard that Cyberpunk show is really good. Let us know in the comments below, and check back in 2 weeks when we look at another Alucard. But for this week, stay tuned for Alucard's half-sister from another series, and possibly another timeline, who knows. Thank you to the patrons, and I'll catch y'all next time.